What's up, Aries? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about ways for you to capitalize on your strengths as a storyteller, a world builder, a creative entity, if you will. So, you are a fire sign, you're a cardinal sign, and you're governed by Mars, which is also the Roman god of war, and you inhabit the first house of the zodiac that represents strong starts, independence, and leadership. That said, strong starts are not always fast starts for impulsive Aries. You all do best with shorter form creation, particularly in terms of writing. Poems, short fiction, short films, 10-minute plays, webisodes, serials, serials, that kind of thing, because you all know how to innately pack a punch in a very short amount of time. So when you're world building, it's best for you to focus on setting a shorter word count for yourself if you're, say, writing a story, or work with increments that you can sort of set pit stops along the way. Imagine that you're on a road trip and you need to get from wherever you currently live to the other side of the continent. Okay, so you have to get there eventually, but you want to set up pit stops along the way to refuel. And so that could be just little moments of celebration, like you finish a chapter, or you finish working on a map, or you finished working on a magic system, or whatever the case. You do something to celebrate each achievement. You can give yourself a gold star, but something where you can see your progress. It's really important for an Aries so you guys don't get bored, stalled out, that kind of thing. You often write and compose material well about inner and outer conflict and confrontation with regard to politics, self expression, and intimate relationships. And a lot of you will do really well as children's authors like Hans Christian Andersen. If you have a funny bone, you all tend to have wonderful comedic timing and you have great comedic minds. The best way for you all to thrive as a storyteller or world builder, Aries, is really to hone in, hunker down, focus on achievable goals in a short amount of time. That's going to be your recipe. Setting up pit stops along the way to a larger project where you can stop, regroup, recalibrate, and celebrate each of those milestones. A really good example of this is, I don't know if they still have Book It, but there used to be this this program in the 1980s when I was coming up, where it might have kept going into the 90s, but anyway, you would read so many number of books and you would get a gold star at school, and you put it on this little Book It pin that you would wear like on your clothes. You could put it on your clothes, your backpack, or whatever. When you got 5 stars, you would take it to Pizza Hut and you would get a personal pan pizza for free. So it was a way to encourage young people to read, right? And I used to live for those personal pan pizzas. Nothing tasted better than sitting down at a Pizza Hut with your family and you got an entire pizza, even if it was a little one, just for yourself because you read so many books, right? So you could set something up like that for yourself, Aries, where you give yourself a gold star for every chapter you finish, or every day that you work on the world that you're trying to build. For, say, you work on it an hour a day, and at the end of the month you treat yourself, you take yourself out on a play date somewhere and go buy a new sticker or crystal or something like that, where you reward yourself. So setting up a reward system for Aries is going to be really important to you all's success and finishing what you started. Okay, so dialogue is actually something that you guys would be really good at in creating characters and their strengths and weaknesses. So play to your strengths, and you can practice your weaknesses in increments. Don't try to do everything all in one day, okay? Or you'll short circuit and stop moving. But you all do really best when you're focusing on really back and forth, rapid exchange dialogue or action sequences, okay? The Story World Oracle card that you all got to help motivate you and keep you inspired is the Spirit Guide card, and that is a fleeting figure appears embodying faith and urging physical, mental, and emotional endurance. So whenever you guys feel like your attention span is wandering, or you're in the weeds and you don't really know how to move forward, a really good example of how to inspire yourself is to actually find somebody who has already been successful in the type of world building or creativity that you aspire to complete something, and just look something up about their story. So for me, for instance, every time I get like a little dejected, like, oh, this isn't moving fast enough, I read something or I go look up an interview by Jim Henson, who is like my personal hero, or somebody who worked with him, like Frank Oz. I go watch one of their interviews and I'm just inspired all over again, or I watch a documentary or something like that where it just reminds me that, there's always something you can be doing. And it didn't always work out for even my heroes, even the people who have, the greatest names in the entertainment industry. They had setbacks too, they experienced bad days too. And whatever sought them through was the vision that they had for their creativity and creating the conditions for play, right? So you can do that. Um, I'll give you a personal confession of something that I like to do that you all may want to try is when I do my workouts, when I do my little fitness routines. Like I love anime, I love shonen anime. And so I get inspired by Luffy from One Piece or Gon and Killua from Hunter x Hunter. Or lately I've been on a Naruto kick. So I get my little leaf band, my leaf village headband while I'm walking, and it keeps me motivated, to pursue my ninja way. Rock Lee is my favorite character in Naruto at the moment, and Kakashi Sensei. Huh. So, so anytime I feel kind of like, oh man, womp womp, what I do is I can even just put their picture up on my phone as wallpaper, as inspiration. So every time I look at my phone, I'm inspired subliminally by my favorite ninja. So, so that's an example of how you can find a spirit guide to help keep you motivated so you don't just give up and wander off. Okay? All right, guys, I hope you all have a great time world building, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.